What's up, Stir Sticks? It's your boy Mike Javale here with Noble Truth.
Hey, I'm walking here.
And Gruesome Bubbles.
What up?
And we are
Cauldron
the
Boys.
Cauldron Boys. All right, today we are here with one of our favorite content creators, Rip, Pull, Repeat. Rip.
What's up, everybody? RipPullRepeat here. I run a TikTok rules and interactions channel, and I'm really excited to be here and hanging out and talking about all things Magic the Gathering and deck building.
Oh, we are so glad to have you, man.
So glad. So glad.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you guys for having me on here. I appreciate it.
We
I'm
had
not
to
gonna
find
lie.
space in our calendar. Thank you for.
That's our running joke for us there.
I'm still fangirling. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'll send you a signed portrait. Just
Dude, don't play. It'll go up
make
in the
sure
card
it's got
room.
The lipstick kiss on it.
Rip. So we got some questions for you, bro.
Oh, and I got answers.
So, man, what got you into Magic, and when did you start playing?
I got into Magic way back in, I believe, would have been around Alara block, so I think 2008. I was at college, and my roommate was like, yo, did you ever used to play Magic the Gathering? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I used to collect the cards when I was a kid. I never learned how to play. Just collected the cards. I had a big box full of these old cards. None of them were worth anything. And he's like, oh, do you want to learn how to play? And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. So he put together two common decks, a white and a red one, and he just taught me how to play from that. And as soon as I got through that first game, I was absolutely hooked and couldn't play enough, couldn't learn enough.
Yeah, I love that. Just somebody brought you in and showed you how awesome it is, and here you are trying to do the same for people.
Oh, yeah.
2008 is whenever I returned to Magic. I started in the 90s and I returned strong in 2008, 2009, which is when Shards was released.
So I have a lot of nostalgia for like multicolored cards because Alara Reborn was entirely multicolored. I also have a lot of fondness for Planeswalkers because they just were released right at the tail's end of Llanowar.
They weren't very good at first either.
I mean, yeah, the original Garruk was amazing because it untapped 2 lands for its plus ability.
Or gave you the beast if you wanted, right?
Yep. So it was one of the few planeswalkers that protected itself while also ramping itself. So it was actually a 2-mana planeswalker, and it was really good. And they were super broken at the time. And then Elspeth was released during Shards of Alara, and that card was insane. Creating a token, giving it +3/+3 and flying. It was just a really fun time for me in Magic.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. So what inspired you to become a MTG content creator?
Well, I've been playing Magic a long time. I've been in it and out of it, and a lot of my friends that I came in with don't play anymore. We've all kind of moved our separate ways. And I just always enjoyed playing, and I just have this vast knowledge of Magic the Gathering. I care about the lore. I care about the mechanics, the rules, just the history of Magic. And so I was kind of like, I just want to be a part of a community again of Magic the Gathering. Way back when I started, that was the LGS. That was FNM. You'd go there, you'd hang out with the people that were there. That's how I learned. You know, you made mistakes there. They taught you how to play. It was very inviting place, and that's just not really around as much. It's coming back for sure, and I want to be a part of that. So that's kind of what got me into MTG content creating, was mainly just to have fun, hang out with people that also have a passion for Magic the Gathering like I do, but then also have some fun, make jokes, kind of poke fun at the community, and because we have a lot of these weird things that we do and we say.
Only Magic players get.
Yeah, and we get upset over dumb stuff, and it's just like, I just wanted to poke fun of that, and that's where it started. But that's not obviously where it ended for my channel. It's definitely changed almost 180 degrees.
From
and it's still growing
to discussing rules. Those are 180 degrees different.
And yeah, you made a good point too. 2008 was a good time for social Magic in the the game workshops and all the places that you could go and play, even kitchen table Magic. But now, like, the internet's it's really changed. So you
Yeah,
kind of came to a place that you can still get that vibe. But here we are.
And they rewarded you for coming. You know, I had a playset of foil full art lightning bolts with the hand coming down. They sent you cards for showing up and entering in your player ID, which I still have my original number when I started.
Same. Yeah.
You know, that's just something that really means a
Mine
lot
is
to me.
somewhere in a drawer somewhere. I still have that card.
Yeah, it's just something that I don't want to get rid of or lose. You know, it's just part of my Magic history.
Awesome.
Mike, do you even know what that is?
Used to have a DCI number.
Yeah. And you couldn't play. You couldn't play if you didn't have it. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Then they let up on that a little bit.
Oh yeah, eventually, but it was a big deal for a while. But
it was still
essentially like a little professional member card too.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool because I mean I play other things competitive, and like you have to sign in on the app, and like when you sign in on that app, I mean that's your ID, and that's your ID for the rest of your career.
That brings up my last time I actually went and played Pioneer a little bit ago, and they had me sign in through like an app, and I was like, "What?" They're like, "Okay, check what table you're at through."
Oh yeah, it's like,
and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Just tell me where I'm sitting."
Yeah, that's the way it was the last tournament I went to.
Make you
too.
download that stuff.
It's crazy, but it's for the better.
The future is
man.
now.
I've been dying to know, what is your favorite color pairing?
Oh, Demir. Blue and black are the two best
Thank
colors
you.
in Magic the Gathering.
My man.
Everything else is trash.
Demir accessories.
Yeah.
That's what
Tell us-
Sometimes
in the comments,
sometimes if like green wants to be like cool and entered into the the VIP area, I'll throw in some Sultai sometimes.
Yeah, I
but-
like red gets a pass sometimes too.
Yeah, they just keep printing stuff because they want to be blue. So you get Dockside, you get Jessica's Will. Like, get out of here.
Deflecting SWAT, some of the
Get
best.
out of here. Windfall was doing Windfall things before Jessica's Will was even a
Wheel
thing.
of Fortune.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Crazy.
get out of here.
Copy in blue since the beginning.
Yeah, like,
Pyroblast.
Yeah, go.
Oh, you mean Little Blue?
Are you seriously going to counter my spell with Guttural Response? Get out of here.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I love it. No, dual caster maging. Do it again.
Yeah, jeez.
I got a question, real quick. When did you realize that you were two different people?
Oh, so
your TikTok is always you, and then the other you. But I don't know. We now know the real one. But
yeah. So when it all started, I was just doing the rule videos. I threw out the whole thing. Started was I did a video where I was just posting like those combos with just the cards. You just scroll through them, and it's like, here's this combo, and the video blew up on my channel, and it was because people were arguing about what happens to tokens when they die. Do they hit the graveyard? Do they not? And people are just arguing. So I'm like, oh, and they're getting angry. So I did a rules video just poking fun of it. It's so different than what I do now, but I talk about, and I do two different endings, where one ending is talking in person, where it's all real reasonable and everything's like, oh yeah, like, oh, I didn't understand that. Cool. Thank you for telling me. And then I did the internet, where I'm just screaming at his face because he's so stupid. And that's where the start of like the two characters, where I'm like, okay, like I need to be like a reasonable person, but like I can't be that funny if I'm being a reasonable person. So then I use that, the alter ego of things that I want to say to like people sometimes, like, what are you like, what?
So one's rip and one is pull.
That's what the community has named the second person. That's not his real name.
Okay.
That will be revealed. But yeah, that's kind of how that started. And then the comments kept asking, why does he keep losing? Why is he so stupid? Why doesn't he ever win? When is the other guy going to win? And so then that kind of just turned into, now I've added the kind of this side-by-side story that's going along at the same pace as the rule videos. So if people that stay and watch my videos towards the end, some of my videos do have like a little bit of like a extra chapter that kind of progresses the story. And that's kind of, now they're completely separate entities after my last video, which was banding, which is one of the big three, I call it. So you got banding, you got Panglacial Worm, and then you have opalescence and humility. Those are the 3 things that get commented and asked nonstop. And then I have my baby one, which is Chains of Mephistopheles. I think that's how I don't know how to say it very well.
Nightmare anyway.
The old chains.
Chains
So
of
that's the baby
Mephistopheles.
one. So those are the big ones that every time I hit a certain milestone, I'll give a big lore drop, which is almost like trying to be like a minute little video at the end. But yeah, so that's how I realized I was 2 different people.
I love it. So you got like kind of like little teasers up to the big story.
Yeah, I got to keep people interested. It's all
I
about
love
that
it.
retention. You got to
go
keep
back
them
and watch them all.
entertained.
I got one last question for you, bro.
Okay.
What's your favorite win con?
Favorite win con. So my favorite win con is Doomsday. Layer in the deck
Yes.
with
What's your 5?
oh god. So it's yeah, it depends. So
I already heard you say Gush.
It's it definitely Gush, Brainstorm. It all depends what's in your hand, and also if I have Yuriko on the field. But so Brainstorm, Gush, Gitaxian Probe, Thassa's Oracle, and then an extra card, probably a Force of Will to counter.
Just
I love
packed
it.
or something.
But my favorite combo though is probably going to be Demonic Consultation, Thassa's Oracle. It's clean, it does the job, and it's easy.
It's something you
the
can
best combo
play and then wipe your hands of it, you know?
Yep. I
just
put
the
it on
best-
the plate. I put it on the table, and you have to figure out how to stop it.
Yep. It's the best combo in Magic the Gathering.
And it teaches really good things, especially with holding priority. It's a big thing that helps teach new Magic players about priority and holding it and being able to cast in response to your own spells, your own abilities, your own triggered abilities. So I also like it for that aspect.
And you know, we preach, you know, proxies, because for one, we all have the same stance on it. We may not word it the same way, but we all have the same stance on it. My way of wording it is, I want to play against the mind and not your wallet. You know, like I really, really want to play like people's mind work different ways, and that's what I want to see. I want to see that interaction, you know, and see, you know, every deck is solved, right?
Right.
There might be new stuff coming out, but it's solved almost instantaneously during spoiler seasons. You know, so what's crazy about it is that person that's piloting that deck, they may think of a different way, you know, or there might be a different way. There's countless interactions, even in the solved setting of a CEDH tournament, or
infinite possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is that for CEDH, there's a barrier to entry, and that's a price tag. So for in a format where you're trying to win as fast as possible, going as hard as possible, you should be able to play every single card possible without being, oh, I need to take my $3,000 card and put it over in this other deck, my Time Twister, whatever, you know, like, so why not proxy? Because now you're playing on an even level with everybody else. And that's why a lot of game shops have leaned into being able to allow proxies, because they realize it is a barrier to entry and it's getting people in the door. And if you can come in and play your deck, which most of the local ones around here do allow proxies, and mostly to a certain extent, they get them in the door. You're spending money at the game shop. You're showing up to play in these tournaments that are, you know, recently where you couldn't play in until you had these super expensive cards. So now it's like you've took that barrier to entry out and it's become open to everybody else, and that you just realize you're playing at that level. So you can use the best. So I'm about proxies there, but like, I don't know, putting your proxy cradle in a Bristly Bill deck. Okay, it's an ethics question.
Who would ever do that?
Who would do that?
Yeah, if I'm not paying for the league, I don't care what you're playing, you know, because the great thing about playing a 4-pod commander is there's other ways to win. I mean, if you want to be manipulative, if you want to do politics, you can be. I can beat the Bristly Bill Gaia's Cradle deck by just saying that dude's running a Gaia's Cradle. That would turn the table on you instantly.
Now it's a 3v1. Yep.
Whether you drew it or not, you are now going to be viewed differently at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a part of Magic that I also enjoy. I enjoy that social aspect as well. It's not what I lean on to. I do not like to lean. Like, I will not create alliances unless, like, someone is pub stomping the table. Then it's just like, okay, Like I'm gonna turn to this player and I'm gonna say, hey, I'm going to do this to them. I need you to do something to them too. Like I've only had to do that a couple times.
Yeah,
but...
I think we get a lot of that. But also, there's that best line of defense method where what's best for the table.
Yeah.
And it's a consensus that what you're doing is bad for all of us. And then next turn, what he's doing is bad for all of us. So
yeah,
now we're back on the same side, you know?
And that's one of the videos that I'm gonna so in one of my series. So you want to play Commander? I'm gonna do a threat assessment. How to properly assess a threat as objectively as one can. There's a lot of subject.
Price.
Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that at all.
I hate to say that.
I played. I went to my LGS a couple of years ago, and this guy was like, "Oh, I'm running like a $4,000 deck, nah, right?" But like, I took my Netherite deck in there, and it doesn't run. It runs Soul Ring and Arcane Signet as far as like what could be considered fast mana, and that is the only mana rock artifacts in there. And we wrecked him, you know. So like price of the deck doesn't mean anything. It means you spent some money. You know, good for you.
Playing against somebody's wallet, whereas it's not playing against their mind. In those cases, you were playing against the wallet. We just want to play with the mind.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's open to all. But, and that brings us to this. Here we are in our talking about like-minded, different styles of playing deck creation. We decided to get together. What made you pick Bristly Bill out of all of them? I got to know.
Well, so it had to been like a week or two ago. I'm starting to do that 32 deck challenge where you have a deck for each color combination in Magic the Gathering for a commander deck.
Yep.
And I don't really know what to do for mono green. So I could make another strong deck, but it's like I need a couple more fun decks. I have my strong decks. So I was like, I wonder if there's a legendary plant. And there are, but they're in different color combinations. And then Bristly Bill was revealed, and I went, legendary plant, that's my guy. And so that was just kind of where I went to. And he actually has a pretty strong ability as far as with his counters.
It's not terrible. The mono green
is absolutely broken.
Yeah,
what I like, I'm actually, most people know, I have a lot of plants. I also have a rare cactus collection. I have lots of cactus too. So to see,
they're on the other side of this camera. You can't quite see them, but they are
there. they're around. We have Plant Tribal, Bristly Bill.
Plant Tribal.
Let's take a look at
yours truly, RipPullRepeat.
Mr. RipPullRepeat.
Can you say the name of the deck? I think that's my favorite part. Is my name. I name my decks all the time,
which I love.
Little Shop of Horrors. That's awesome.
Little Shop of Horrors. Which, by the way, the eclipse is coming. Don't adopt any alien plants.
Yeah, very awesome musical. Very awesome. Mike,
I do love it. I've seen it so many times. Yeah, how about Steve Martin, the fucking nitrous huffing dentist, bro?
Yeah,
it is bust through on a motorcycle, like dude.
Yeah, Steve Martin's the coolest guy in the movie. Get out of here.
He's so awesome, such an asshole, dude. He literally
I love that movie. But yeah, so that's
his own nitro, dude. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, so I name all my decks. I have names for all my decks, so that's just like a thing I do. If they doesn't, I usually make a name before I make the deck. So
I tend to do that too, but not until after.
As long as you have the commander picked out, then it's fine. But if you're naming a deck and then pick out the commander, no.
Oh, that's the best.
So, what am I gonna do today, boys? Just like hit the random button.
Yeah.
ChatGTP. What should my deck name for Bristly Bill be? All right, so what he does is landfall. He's one colorless, one green, 2/2 landfall trigger. It's pretty sweet. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Then, as an activated ability that does not require a tap, 3 colorless, 2 green. Double the number of 1/1 counters on each creature you control. I like this because if you were to make a 1/1 counter deck, aside from mono green, as him as a commander, he could fit in very well. Like if you would use any other colors for any other reason, he can be inserted in another deck easily.
Counter deck that has green in it.
That wants green.
Bill would be a good fit for it.
Like my Rograk and Rayhan. I agree.
Traxa.
There you go.
And a big thing is that it's a 2-cost commander, so you get to get this thing into play and start adding counters instantly.
Right away.
Game where you do not cast your commander multiple times at 2 mana.
Probably turn 2, right? Or if not 1.
If you're not casting them turn 2, that'd be tricky because I would say I'd be against it because you want to ramp. You want to start ramping right after that.
Why miss a counter? And I love it. He's awesome. Cactus.
Great art, super fun art. Just a cactus dude doing cactus.
Oh, he kind of looks like a grasshopper a little bit, doesn't he?
I was trying to draw Bristly Bill, and I totally thought he was a grasshopper in a field of cactuses.
See what you got going on here. We're doing plant tribal. Okay.
You gotta have a planeswalker.
This is a good one to have.
Makes plants. Makes plants. I didn't even know counters.
Probably not ever going to get to that -7, huh?
No, I don't think I've ever seen it.
No.
What does it even do?
Yep. Something that we're not going to concern too much about. Draw some cards, but there's better drawing green. Let's see. Arwen. Each other creature enters battlefield with additional 1/1 count. I like this.
I had some space, so I thought let's add a couple more +1/+1 counter synergies.
What do you guys think?
I like her because if you can buffer up with the 1/1 counters from Bill, that means the creatures are coming in with like 5 1/1 counters.
She runs almost like a secret commander in the deck as well.
Yeah.
We had a version with a lot of things that did what she did, but she's arguably better than one like what I had Pier in the original version, and what are some of the other ones that only add 1 additional 1/1 counter. This seems significantly better.
Yeah,
I like it. Avenger, oh yeah, plant boy.
That is a classic.
That is
big green creature before it even got pushed out of the format. That was the finisher.
And he's like never not performed. I mean, 7's high, but it's like as soon as it goes, it goes.
Yeah, but if you're not playing Mana Rocks and you pay 7 and with lands and he comes in, that's 7 tokens you just made.
Especially if you didn't play the land first and you landfall him afterwards, it used to do work. It used to do work.
I used him. He was my finisher in Rune. I had a Rune deck back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Just like before Tulane came out, and this was the guy.
But yeah, he's very nostalgic to me, so that's why he also gets added to the deck.
Makes Craterhoof go burr.
Yeah.
Bane of Progress, that's part of the theme. This. Yep, that's part of the theme, like
artifacts.
Yeah, just coming in, destroying all that stuff because we're the wilderness, running wild.
I do like it. We would discuss like the oof lines or how and then Null Rod, and we were running, anti-artifact love, or artifact hate, really. And we're like, is it going to be good for us or bad? And in green, mono green, it's probably the best place to have that.
Yeah, I mean, at 6 mana, he's easily replaced with the Force of Vigor. Is that the really good one? That's a better card overall. But if you want to go with more of the theme, Bane of Progress is definitely part of the theme.
It just kills everything. That's all.
Yeah.
So, Bloom Hulk. I mean, it's a wipe. It's a wipe. Let's not sleep on that.
Yeah, we gotta proliferate. And it's a plant.
Do we?
On theme.
On theme.
It is on theme.
Proliferates with the counters.
It's a 4/4 for 4.
And if you put War of the Spark, that's a War of the Spark sealed draft champion. You pull multiple Bloom Hulks, you are destroying that table.
You're taking it home that night, huh?
Oh yeah, at least a 2/1.
Is that because everyone else is gonna leave them?
Oh well, I mean, so War of the Spark was tons of planeswalkers. So anything that proliferated your only negative planeswalkers was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah. For a minute there, the planeswalker proliferate got really serious.
And it's a common, so shout out to my commons. Oh yeah, here's another
my fellow commons like
Moss Beat. Man, this is when core sets. They used to make core sets. Oh yeah, that was the thing.
I feel like you want me to just eat this up.
Oh yeah, just
This
look
is
at this.
arguably a horrible card. You gotta say it. Come
What?
on. It's 6, 4, 5, but for 7, it puts a single 1/1 counter on itself.
It doesn't even have trample. That card's awesome.
It doesn't
It
even
doesn't
have
even have
trample.
trample. It's awesome.
I'm not afraid to say it. All right. Mr. You know what? It's the best card in the deck so far.
Dude, this Canker. Oh, I love
What?
Canker Bloom.
Yeah, that card's just cool.
Okay, that card is sweet and has made it's. I put it all over the place.
That's added because it fits the theme a little bit
Yeah.
with the fungus, but it also just has multiple abilities, and you kind of need that in green. You want
utility.
your
You need a utility.
You need your cards in green to do more than just one thing.
It's a 3/2 for 2 at the bottom. It's not terrible.
Yeah,
Plus, you might put a counter on it, but I don't know why if you're going to use it for its uses. But it's there for what you need when you need it.
Yep.
Like,
And if it's going to die anyway, you might as well just sack and proliferate it. Block, sack, and proliferate.
Yep.
So this is a really good card. And always, I like this, and I actually run it in a lot of
I like
decks.
the cost. I like the cost of it.
And
too.
this brings me to your next card that I really like, Mr. Caustic Caterpillar. From
Oh
Save.
yeah,
So
amazing.
good. This is a cool card.
Another all-star, the Caustic Caterpillar, ran in the, it was ran into a popper deck. I believe it was a toolbox Golgari with, now I can't remember, but it was ran in popper.
it's also like a Marin staple in Commander.
Yeah.
You just because experience counters, you just always bring back the Caterpillar, or you
It's-
bring
yeah.
back the Spore Frog.
Yeah, the
You
one
just-
cost, yeah.
You just
It's
keep
good.
looping it, and it's just like, oh crap.
Yep.
Yeah, Caterpillar, sweet. Good call on that. Creeper Hog. That's what we got here. Until end of turn, target creature you control. All right, for 2. Makes it a 5/3 and trample. Ooh,
I like that because it adds a lot of, it adds a layering interaction to
kind
the
of
deck.
spicy, actually.
You're actually going to select a couple really strong cards. These are probably some of the stronger cards in the deck as far as like creatures.
Well, I think how we'll proceed is we'll go through it, and then we'll just, we'll all discuss some additions.
Oh yeah,
And then we'll go back and make the cuts. And I think that you're right. I'm surprised by this. We didn't even look at it. This is a
No,
good
I
card.
am
I can
too,
see this. I'm genuinely impressed with this one.
The 2-mana
Yeah, for sure.
5/5 is quite nice. I like that.
You're like, where have you been all my life?
Yep.
Evolution Sage, we like this.
Yeah, it's a great card. It's just a good card.
Yeah, we had looked at that, but I think that we had a couple mana dorks that we had considered that I didn't see that might be a good idea for the same
Yeah.
thing. Whereas
That's probably one of the first cuts I would make if I wanted to take away the proliferate extras and go more counter heavy.
not that you want to take away landfall, but there's probably better ones.
It's just that it's a free landfall. It just
Yeah.
does it. So that's I don't know. I like the card. It's another War of the Spark.
We
So,
talked about it. We had mentioned it, didn't we? It had
Yeah,
it had been discussed.
Evolution Sage,
It was
I think
one of the ones that we cut near the very end of the version that we made.
I don't like it for 3 mana. I think that'd be my
That
only.
is the worst part.
That's mostly what it came down to. For 3 mana, there are some other effects that
Yeah.
you would rather have.
No, I agree. That's probably the biggest.
Samala. All right, so Cultivator,
yeah.
Colossus.
Here's your combo piece. If you want to put a combo in, here's your guy to do it. It's a plant and it's a combo piece.
we just keep
Yeah.
bouncing lands and
Yeah, there's ways to just draw your entire deck and manipulate. So,
Is there a hidden combo in here that we didn't? or
oh
is there-
god, no! You think it's a plant? Nah, you're dropping that. You're playing maybe like a land or 2. It's a 7 mana draw 2 maybe.
if you have 2 lands in hand, maybe.
If you have even any lands in your hand, because I don't think there's any way to draw cards in this deck.
We could always add a bounce land.
Unfortunately, it
And then
doesn't
we
say you may play a land. It says put a land into play from your hand.
Yeah,
So it's not quite the same as play a land,
no.
which I almost feel like as inhibiting as that is, that would probably be better. Flourishing Bloom can. Each forest you control. Hell yeah.
It's just a big boy, and it can be a disguise. I don't know.
It
It was a card I'd never seen before, and it was a plant. I'm like, I don't know.
Put it in there.
Plant checks out.
It's not my favorite.
Gatekeeper vibe.
Love the Gatekeeper. Look at that guy.
Gatekeeper was one
2-1?
of the first non-mana dork rampers that I used to play in my first mono green deck.
It's a gate all-star.
Yeah, it brings back some very fond memories
It gets your gate.
of getting murdered because I played mono green Stumpy when I first started.
I still play mono green Stompy.
I just play everything Stumpy now, so we're good.
Hard Bristle Bandit. This is a new guy.
You got to have the partners with the Bristly Bill.
He's got a little buddy, huh?
And he's a mana dork. It's a mana dork. You need him, especially
whenever you
in
commit a
plants.
crime, he untaps. Seriously.
So what is the crime mechanic?
Targeting anything that your opponent has.
Yeah.
So anything that targets. So their hand,
Or
their
your
graveyard, their
opponent.
library.
Or
That's
your
pretty
opponent
cool.
too. So
Yeah, it has
Your
to be
opponent.
I think it's all opponent. It has to be your opponent.
Yeah, it's
your opponent
targeting
or anything
your
they
opponent.
or the graveyard hand.
Yeah, it has to be your opponent to commit the crime.
I play Hasbro games, bro.
I'm anti-establishment. I hate capitalism.
I got long
Give
hair.
them secret layers.
You want to be non-conforming? And
I want all my old art to be the last 4 presidents.
secret lair presidents.
Oh my
Secret Lair
god.
president.
Oh my. I would probably buy that.
I
They might
probably
actually,
would too.
they might actually
I'm
get.
already looking it up. No, I'm just
They might actually get me on that one. Damn it!
Secret Lair presidents.
How
Okay.
dare they use my nationalism against me?
I paid 4 mana and cast Sleepy Joe.
I can spend 4 mana and cast George Washington.
Dude, I
Let's
just want
go.
to play Joe
Dude.
Punched.
I mean, I was just singing the George Washington song.
Okay, what would George Washington's card be?
Like.
Something
What would it
It's,
say?
it's not an alt art. It's not an alt art. It's a real card, is what we're saying.
Yeah, what's his ability?
I was
Well, he's
personally
like-
thinking all-
It's obviously red, white, and blue.
Just
No
got-
doubt. He's got to
Well,
be. Come on.
Obviously, is Jess guy, but he's gonna be 4 cost. So similar to like a Ruhan.
So like red, white, and blue in one.
Death. He has a death touch for tree folk. Because he cut down the.
He is a tree folk. That is right.
Human
Gosh.
tree folk.
Yeah, he's got the wooden teeth.
Human tree folk with a wooden teeth. Huh?
Oh, dude, if he like, you pay 1 and you can lay like a teeth trap that like equip the target creature. He has wooden teeth.
Oh my
Minus 2
God.
attack.
Not what I thought, but I love it.
He
I
makes
love
equipment
it.
teeth. And
Similar-
you can
similar
equip
to
your
equipment
opponent's
teeth.
creatures.
Similar
Pay
to
one, sacrifice his tooth, deals 1 damage to any target.
similar to the Goblin Caboonist, which makes a landmine token.
Oh,
Similar to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh,
That's what I'm
or he
thinking.
could have pay 1, sacrifice another creature you control. Deal 1 damage to any target. Draw a card.
And he
deserve
has,
the token.
and he has Island Walk because he's went across the Delaware.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now you're getting at it.
All right, we need
It is
this
some
card.
deep George Washington lore right now, okay?
In case you didn't know about George Washington,
Dude's terrifying.
he was the first president.
I just know him as the dude on the 1 in my quarter.
Dude, I only run with Benjamins.
Ah,
so
the corner guy.
I don't even know what that means. I only got Benjamins, baby.
I only roll with
What's a
George
Benjamin?
Washington.
You got these
The
George
most
Washingtons. What
I've
is
seen
that?
Is a Lincoln.
Nah. I got my Alexander
no.
Hamiltons.
A Ben Franklin. You mean an adult dollar?
Let's take a moment to tell you about what we have going on in the Ironborn Gaming Discord. We run free leagues with prize support, CEDH, Tournament Eternal, ongoing and perpetual league to king, the next king or queen. We're still fresh in week 1, and you can sign up at any time in our Ironborn Gaming. Ironborn Gaming, join, play, win.
If you know, you know. I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little.
Oh, where were we?
Bristly Bill, baby.
All right, moving back in. Johnny Offshoot. 1 drop, I guess, but I mean, gain 1 life. Maybe not the best.
Broken. I don't know if you know, but if you have more life than your opponent, you win.
Winning.
Well, that's one way, but also they just have to die first. So You don't necessarily have to have more life. They just need to die first or lose the
Do
game.
you know how many times I've won at
Uh,
one life?
That's actually true, and I've seen him add those to one.
That's a big. I mean, that's also a big thing that I like to teach that people need to learn too. Is life as a resource. That's a big one.
I agree. Yeah.
One is not
Certainly is.
dead.
So is cards in hand. That's the secret resource.
Or you could
If
add
you're
nods
a
like
blue
me.
player.
You could add nods like me and then go to like 5 and then hit your Bolas's Citadel.
Yeah, that happens. Or go to 2 and then you got a mana trigger next turn or mana crypt trigger next turn and die to it.
So wait, are you guys actually playing Necro in your decks?
Necro Potence?
Potence. Yeah.
And some, yeah.
I play
Really? Okay.
Necro in my cast
I got
It
3,
doesn't-
2, or
I
3.
haven't been able to make it fit in anything. It's always my first cut in like my highly competitive decks.
You
I don't.
know the born trick, right? The born upon a win trick.
Born upon a win. If you Necropotence and you,
He actually is that. We've had wins like this
yeah,
before.
if
So
you
Greg most recently.
Necropotence and in the cards that you get from those at the end step, whenever you put them to your hand before you discard, if
Yeah.
Born upon a wind is one of those. In response to your discard, you can cast.
Or you
Born
have
Upon
it in
a Wind,
hand already.
or you already have it in hand.
Or
Okay.
Cast
you
the
tutor
Born
it
Upon
and
the
then put it
Wind.
on top and exile it.
Any way
Okay.
you're able to cast it. If you
Yeah.
cast Born Upon a Wind, it says this entire turn you can play spells as though they were flash. So, in response to you discarding, you have flash, which means you can do everything. So you can play your free mana rocks in your end step, getting all the mana, and you don't have to discard.
And here's
until
why.
you're done because
Your cleanup
it's a-
step. Your cleanup step goes, discard down to hand size, right?
Mhm.
But then you discard, but then you have to go to the end of the cleanup step to exile all the cards from your graveyard. That's a different- that's
I
a
just
different-
did a video
So-
similar to this.
So then once a trigger is triggered at your end step, it creates another beginning of your end step phase. In which case you have another round of priority, and you can do shit like Born Upon a Wind, cast on Underworld Breach, and literally just cast
where I was
everything you've
trying
just.
to get to was to the breach.
Yeah. I wanted to clarify that the round of priorities reoccurs. Moving through.
Moving through.
We got Changeling, Mass Vandal. Let's see. Enters. That's really weird.
I know, isn't it? It's a plant.
Just exile any creature. If you do, exile target artifact or enchantment opponent controls.
Just 2
All
mana plant that lets
I
you.
I
exile
believe
something.
it.
It gets
It's
rid of
just-
the One Ring.
So it exiles it. You exile a creature from a graveyard. So it does two. It does work. So it does the exile any creature you don't want in someone's graveyard, and
No,
then
it's from
also.
your-
You
it's
exile
your
the creature
graveyard.
from your graveyard.
Oh, that sucks.
That sucks.
Put that in there.
It gets rid of
But
the
he
One
does
Ring.
got a good sweet little that secondary ability is okay. And he's
Yeah,
a
the exile is good.
Living Totem enters the battlefield. It's Convoke. That's all right for 4. Common boy. Play out. I like the art on that one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat. Another common.
Moss Dog. What do you think, Mike? I haven't heard you in a while.
I think that so Moss Dog's cool, but like if it's getting targeted by an opponent's ability or spell, it's probably getting removed. So like the 1/1 counter on it is kind of pointless.
If it did,
I like it
No.
because it's errated and it is a plant now. So
it's a play hound.
Yep.
it is a plant town.
If it said target of spell or ability, period, I would be sold.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Mastodon, target your prop. I seen that.
Whoever built this. should-
Ramp Rejuvenator. Hey, look, he's got.
If
a
you
Ramp
like plants,
Rejuvenator.
and I do, because I have like 80 of them, house plants, literally for no fucking reason, because I have a problem.
Hey,
That I'm a fan.
that art.
It's that art, baby. All right, let's see. Ramming up Rejuvenator. This was on a couple lists too. Mike was hot on this one. He tried selling me on it a couple times.
Come on, bro. We're making +1/+1 counters anyways, and it's a landfall deck. It's almost like an auto include.
It's just so expensive at 4.
Yeah.
At worst case scenario, it's a cultivate. Well, it's better than a cultivate. It's
It
They
is.
don't come in tapped.
That is good. That is good.
It's a explosive vegetation. It's a
They don't come in tapped. I will concede to that.
Sky Shroud claim.
There you go.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's exactly what it is.
like a weird
It's a Sky
horror.
Shroud claim. Yeah.
I actually did not include a lot of Haro effects. I thought about it, but I don't know. Something I just didn't like it.
Sprouting Phytohydra.
Dude, graft.
Del-
That is a classic mechanic that will never come back.
Going back to the Haro thing, I think the reason why is probably because it slows decks down. Like if you're spending mana to land ramp, it does slow you down.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Realm Walker.
This is probably the best card advantage that the deck has.
That's the best plant in the whole deck. You get to capture
Yep.
your plant.
That's a jazzy plant.
I almost didn't even include it because it's the best plant in the deck.
Didn't want to be.
I didn't want to do the cop out of just changelings, but Realm Walker just gives this deck a little bit of just a little bit of gas. It needs something.
It does. It needs some legs, and this helps.
Yup.
I actually like that. What's all damage with a token in play? Oh yeah, we did that one. Okay. Topiary say
I
it.
did
I can't
not realize that was Topiary Stomper.
Yeah, that's
I
a
didn't
plant.
realize that was a plant.
That was a standard all-star for a little bit
It
during
was,
that
yeah.
set's release. It was a really good card. It's not bad. I mean, but probably not even commander worthy, but it's a plant.
Well,
It's a plant dinosaur. I love it. Look at his face.
dinosaur, like what is dinosaur decks really like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have put him in
Wow.
Weta. I had a pretty fun Weta deck.
What's the new one that came out with all the explore stuff? Sun favored.
Oh,
Some favorite mount.
But yeah, it's a fun card.
Fine Trellis.
Oh, man, we're almost to my favorite card in the deck, right there.
Utopia Tree.
Utopia
I
Tree.
like the art. I do.
Man, it's just
I like
it's
the
such a weird relic of Magic the Gathering. Like
it's a weird relic, yeah.
it's not it's worse than a bird's, but it's like this is kind of where they wanted to go with like these 0/1 mana creatures. And it's
It
so
was the
weird.
first 2-cost one that gives you any color.
It's
I mean,
so
besides
weird.
birds, but
It
it was like back there in them early days.
it has like Wampa fruit from Crash Bandicoot on it. It's like it's just out there.
I remember that, collecting those.
But yeah.
Vine.
So this card used to be in like every counter deck back in Commander's infancy, like when it was EDH. Like you had the Vine Lasher. It just got so big so fast because the best removal at the time was a Swords or a Path to Exile. Like it just wasn't. It's just a different like big creatures like that were just so good.
I like that. Gives himself a little boost.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it used to be an all-star. Like, you just used to get played all the time.
Imagine it gets big pretty fast, but
It does, but now 2-drops do, they get
literally
that.
our commander does almost the same thing.
Yeah, it's insane, the power creep.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that. Wall of Brambles.
Our commander
Oh, that's just a card from my childhood, so yeah, that card's terrible. But Regenerate on come on.
So underrated.
A Wall. Like, Wall is like this weird subgroup creature that has like its own rules. Like, they changed it to Defender, but like, Walls were weird.
Did that
Walls
make
were fun.
errata to be a plant? That's pretty cool. It makes sense, but
Literally.
I think it also was errata.
Let's check it
'Cause I
out.
used Scryfall, so they gave me like the errata
Plant
version.
Wall. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
nice.
But yeah, so
If
that
it wasn't
yeah,
a plant, I'd be so confused by that art. It just
Yeah.
looks like tree roots on the side of a hill.
Speaking of plant walls,
Walroots. I love Walroots.
what's funny about that is they're separate counters. This is 0, -0, -1. It doesn't remove a 1/1 counter.
Yep.
You put separate counters on it, so you could literally run that thing right into the ground.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing a video eventually on the different counters that are in Magic the Gathering because there's a
Used to be
couple
plus
weird
two.
ones.
Oh, yeah.
Plus
Oh
two,
my
plus two.
god.
Remember
For
those, Greg?
instance, Monster is just one of my favorite
Plus 2 plus
cards,
2
and
counters, yeah.
Yeah,
like
back in the
3
day.
cards in all
Yep.
Magic, maybe.
yeah,
maybe
very
4.
rare, and it probably will never get seen again.
Never
Yeah.
get. Oh no, they'll never do that again. Here we go. Awakening of the Woods.
Cruise, because the rest is pretty short.
Yeah, so this is easy because we love this card.
Yep,
We love
awesome
this
card.
card. This is a good card too.
I love the art on that Rampant Growth too. It's not. It's just a weird maggot looking thing, but yep, great card. That next, the sorceries. When I play sorceries,
I
I want them to do work because I hate sorcery speed. So
Arch Druid. I don't like sorcery speed either.
Arch
But
Druid
sometimes-
is really expensive.
This card is for 3, but it's pretty good in this deck. We also include.
I'm talking the price, $10. That's crazy.
There actually is.
That is crazy. That card is like, I don't know. It's good. I liked it. I think it's a cool card.
It's just got some really nice utility that a mono green deck needs.
Yep.
What did you think about that, Mike?
Dude, so like when the hype came out about this card, I was like, man, I don't know, that's 3 green pips, you know, but I mean, it does do work, you know.
I think it's just it's so much worse than the blue version.
It's just
That-
wrong. But it's got everything we need for Bristly Bill. You could do the
It
The
has to be
land
put.
tutor?
It has to be put in the right deck. Unfortunately, while the blue counter is like if it can get to the 3 blue, like you're
Archmage
playing
Sun,
it.
yeah.
You're playing that card. That card is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the right deck for this.
Mhm.
It is, I believe so.
Guy's gift. This is neat.
That is neat. I like that one.
Yeah,
I think we opted for Legolas. Legolas's quick return.
I opted for the ones that were cheap. I did not use like heroic intervention, but I used heroic intervention type effects.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So that's an easy swap. Those are easy swaps. If you want to do the better ones, you just take those out,
Say-
put the better ones in.
Save your guy.
Yeah. You wanted to make this more easy accessible. More
But it does have upgradability to it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
you take out the plant, kindred in general, and the deck, goes a completely more powerful
Well,
way.
let's finish this and then we'll
Yeah.
discuss that because I have a thought on that. Inspiring. Okay, yeah. Invigorating Surge. Plays a 1/1 target counter target creature you control, then double them. Which is
I don't like the card that's 3 mana. Since it's an instant, it helps.
fun.
Bro, but here's the thing though, it's like late
Bill
game,
does that for 5.
that's dope.
Yeah, it's a trick. No one will see it coming. That's for sure.
As an instant,
Yeah.
for sure.
Bill at 11 power or 10 power, and
You
they
mastodon
decide
him?
not to block.
And you only have 3 mana open, so your op
Yeah.
doesn't think that you're going to be able to activate Bill's ability. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
psych, wop wop. Let me hit you with the
Oh my
invigorating
God.
surge."
Just murder someone.
Yeah, we're devious players.
It's a fun combat trick.
It is. It's
It
a
is. It is.
Dreamland combat trick, but it's still a funny combat trick.
Yep.
Inspiring Call. Yes.
Yup.
I love this card. This card's hot. This might be the best card I've seen yet because I didn't think about it. No, just because I didn't think about it. Like it's really actually
It's good.
that good. Green has weird card draw things.
Yep.
There's not just any like here's a bunch of fucking cards like Rhystic Study or Mystic Remora, right?
Yeah.
It's or like Necropotence or anything else. It's you got to get it through shit like Hunter's Insight, right?
Sylvan Library.
Sylvan Library. But you still got to pay. That's taxing too, though.
You pay all of it.
Right.
Full life every time.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, sir. That's absolutely right. Rishkar's expertise. There's Mary's Guile.
I don't
really-
pay the Ristic tax. I don't pay the smothering, and I
don't
take
pay
full
taxes.
life every time.
I don't pay taxes in full life. Absolutely.
I'll try to pay for the Ristic, but I ain't paying for the tithe.
If I'm trying to win, I'll pay for the Rhystic.
Fit. I actually don't feed the fish. That, for some reason, I draw the line.
Don't forget to
Dude,
feed-
four's a
Because
lot,
it's so
bro.
obnoxious to know that there's no even option for you to pay the 4.
No, I know. It's so irritating.
So obnoxious. obnoxiously over.
And then it's like, and it sticks around because like if you like don't feed the fish, it sticks around. They're like, oh, cool, I'm gonna tap this one
Yeah.
and we'll go another round. You know,
Feeding
It's
the fish doesn't mean paying to 4. Feeding the fish means casting a fucking spell. Whether you do or you don't, it gets to the next turn. You're like, oh, I'm just not going to cast.
Yeah, Mystic Remora is a really good card. It definitely used to be slept on. I mean, I remember it was so no one ever played it, and now it's so
it's
good.
everywhere.
Turn 1 Mystic.
Yep,
DG,
it's good.
You're
I'll keep most hands that give me a turn 1 Mystic.
As
Absolutely.
long as I can play it, absolutely.
Yep.
As long as I have a second mana next turn.
Nah. You'll draw it.
Next turn.
You'll draw it.
Maybe not.
2 turns
Heart
before
of the cards, man.
They're well trained around here. I'm telling you, people will be like
Lotus Petal, no land hand. That's my starting hand.
Lotus Mystic and just like all 7 cost spells.
Feed them, baby.
Send it.
This that's a finisher.
Yeah, it just turns all your lands into beaters.
Yep.
Nature's Claim removal.
Yep.
Sheltering Ward.
That's another Legolas.
Yeah, you'll know Legolas effect. He's another Costa Caterpillar effect, kind of.
Yep.
Turn
Just
the-
gives us options.
I was. Tyvar Stand. There's another one. That's a great card.
That's a good card, actually. When I
It is
found
a
that
good
card,
card.
I actually went, this is actually a pretty good card.
That was the one card when I opened up packs. I looked at it and I'm like, actually, I think this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could still just do it for 0
hmm
and just cast 1, and you're like, boom, I saved my guy.
Yep. I think it's a good card.
So I think that is a really good card too. Let's see, Emerald Medallion. We love Horn Helm.
Got to give trample. If you're going to make all those counters, you got to get through because they're going to have blockers.
Oh,
You gotta have ways to give trample.
Yep.
Power Fist. Ooh,
That's just because it was a cool card.
it's kind of cool, isn't it? I like
Yeah.
the big art too.
Fallout cards,
That
be
mini
I mean,
1/1 counters on
Yeah.
it? Oh wow.
Huh?
it's a beater.
Oh my
Is
goodness.
Bone Saber in here?
No.
Beginning
Ozolith,
combat,
we
put
agree
4
on.
1/1 counters on.
Yeah, that card's
Yeah.
great. It's not the Ozolith, but it's still pretty good.
Ring of Colonia.
Yep, that's a counter thing.
Emperor, beginning of upkeep. Pop 1 on there. Fairly cheap.
Yeah, once you got it equipped.
Alpha Titania. Okay.
Ooh, makes forest.
Makes forest lands. Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, equip 3 is a little turn off, but
Yeah, it's a little expensive.
it's kind of spicy.
And then the
Not
last
all
card is awesome. That card is
Yeah, it can't be blocked by more than 1. I've actually won games on the back of this card.
Oh, that's
Several times.
classic.
You're like, oh, what do you got? I'm just gonna send my 66 trampler
Yep,
over.
that's a
and,
classic.
All right, and then enchantments. We got Branching Evolution.
This is
Yep.
probably where most of the money of the deck is.
I agree that this is must include. We all thought that same thing.
Yeah.
Cordy Garenbreg, we like this too. We all unanimously were. sold on it.
Monarch is amazing, and
It,
if you
it
can
replaces itself. You do get a card that turn. So,
between that and initiative are 2 amazing mechanics.
well, was it Mike? Was it you that said the best
No.
part? I think.
Repeat
Trying to
the question.
remember.
Sorry.
Remember with Corey Garenbreg, and you were like, when you with all these big beefy creatures, who's gonna fucking want to attack you anyway?
No.
Yeah,
it
that was me.
mostly Mike. Yeah.
Well, we were
Me
rationaling
and
it
Mike
out.
were both arguing over that, and there was a 4 mana enchantment, but Mike's the one who ultimately was able to.
But
make
because,
the
I mean-
argument better.
The way we were looking at it was like we were running Scoot Swarm, and then we were running, like, hey, put a +1 counter on this, or put a +1 counter on this, and kind of falling into the landfall with some fetches, and so it was getting gross really fast, and because we were fetching so much, and because we were land ramping that way, we were able to double the counters off of Bill,
Bill, a couple times a turn.
Yeah.
Even.
That's
and
crazy.
it was getting gross, and it was like yeah, like why not run the Monarch? Because like who's gonna
It's just
want to
card
swing
draw.
into
Yeah.
who's gonna
Yeah.
swing into a
bunch of-
horde
a
of
bunch of-
Scoot Swarms?
What are you gonna send over here?
Yeah, instant speed scooting is pretty good.
Scoot
Yeah.
Swarm is fucking hilarious. Hardened
Definitely
Scales,
have to.
we love it.
Classic.
Yeah, I like that. 1 or more adds 1. Yeah, Really good. Perfect. Doubles your landfall trigger, really.
So hardened scales and the other one, right?
Doubling
double-
season.
No, the one above this.
Oh
Right
yeah.
next.
Courting
Yeah.
airbrig?
So that one doubles, right?
No, yeah, it doubles them if you're the monarch. Which is
No.
likely.
Branching evolution.
That one doubles.
Put that many doubled, right?
Yeah.
Twice.
doubles.
Twice that many.
Yeah,
Twice
so-
as many, yeah.
Doubles,
Yeah.
right?
So this is
like,
basically the counter package. Your 1/1 counter packages.
so if I'm not mistaken, it's like damage modifiers, right? Where the person that's affected gets to choose the way they resolve.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you would be able to put your +1/+1 counter on with hardened scales first, and then branching evolution.
Yep.
To make it that much.
Yeah,
bigger.
you get to decide your own
Yep.
triggers, how they resolve. But yeah, if it was a damage modifier like Fury Emancipation, triple the damage, Torbrand +1 to a red source, then they get to decide how
The
they're
affected
done.
player, right? But
Yeah.
but it's just you.
Yeah, so you get to decide how you decide how all your counters trigger.
And you're absolutely right. Like you can do one and then add another one and then double. So
Mhm.
it definitely
Yep.
is something to consider. I love this card.
Yeah,
This
that
is
card's
my favorite.
amazing.
It's my favorite. It's
card.
I can't go out because Kenrith's my boy. That's my little avatar. That's
Dude, the
what-
fact that it says draw.
I've had a
card on
Kenrith
it,
5
I
color
know.
PDH deck forever. It's just he gets elked. Oko elks him. And it's a good part of the story. And it just really kills your commander. It kills a lot of combo pieces for people and it replaces itself. All for
I
two.
run it in Kennen just because I'm a butthead.
Sometimes you want that, like that's why I seen you got Lignify too, which I had both, but we ended up cutting one. And
I think
love
there's
these
a
cards.
third one too.
The other one that turns him into
Songs of the Dryad.
it turns him into a Kodos Forest Land, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that used to be. I mean, that and Lignify was like all we had way back for mono green. Now
Hold on,
you basically can exile anything.
y'all sped past Into the Wild.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to go
that's
back to that card. One, the art is amazing.
I love the art of
Yeah.
Into the Wild.
Yep, beautiful card. Beautiful card.
And this deck, it just does work though.
It hits the theme. It really. I remember when that card released, everyone was just floored by it. But then
Mhm.
Wilderness Wreck got released, and it was like, oh, all these other cards suck.
I have a Landfall Yarrock deck, and I play
Oh,
Into
nice.
the Wilds in it.
Oof.
And it's just like, oh, cool. Before I even draw, look, all right, cool land. Now I draw, all right, cool
Yep.
land.
It's just such a
Right.
cool card. It's a very cool card, and I was happy to be able to include it.
It is a pretty sweet card. Retreat.
Just
It does its thing.
it does its thing. I mean, landfall
It's
and
a
a
landfall
+1/+1
trigger.
counter.
Hold on. Landfall's cool because after the initial cost of, like, for example, 3 mana, right?
Yeah,
After the initial cost, playing a land doesn't use a stack.
it's all value. It's all
Yeah,
value.
it's all value. You know what I'm saying?
Landfall. That's why landfall is abusable.
Yeah.
No,
Because-
that's exactly right, Mike. Like that's why I when I see it, I view it differently because I'm like, once it's on the field, they have to deal with it. Now it's just free. I don't have to ever think about it ever again. I just get the bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best,
well said.
but
You don't have to do anything but play on curve.
and they can't even respond to me playing a land. So it's kind of like,
You're gonna get the trigger. They can respond to the trigger already on the stack. But
That trigger's going to happen.
at
and
that
they're gonna
point,
have the same mentality where they look at it and they go, "Oh, that's whatever. I don't really care." And then it's like +1. Oh, I just put in 2 extra lands. That's +3, +4. It's just like I don't know.
everybody
It's not the best, but again, landfall's free.
Landfall
Everybody-
is free.
everybody like overlooks landfall until they're it's like one of my favorite sayings. Right? Like
Until you're knee
everybody,
deep in a scoot swarm.
exactly, bro. Or like my favorite saying, one of my favorite sayings in the world is like everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And I feel like that's the way everybody looks at landfall. Like, oh yeah, like he's gonna
it's
play lands.
landfall.
Yeah, it's just landfall. Like, and then like now all of a sudden people are playing Omnath and you're hating your life.
Roaring Earth.
I don't even. Sounds like a really good card.
It's got a channel
Channel.
ability, which is
It's got
neat.
channel. That's why.
Channel's neat. It supersedes like the stack. So
Yep.
when land enters the battlefield, you put a 1/1 counter in. Oh, it does turn your land into a plant creature. It requires demands a pay though. We like this. Yep.
Tribute's just really good art.
This, but also like no matter what, you're getting Value Town. 3 2/1/1s or a draw card. Like I'll take any of that.
Yep.
Plus, if you can get the counter on it for some other way when it enters or something, and it gets to somehow before this triggers, gets to 3, you get your card, and you can do that a lot of different ways in this with Bristly Bill. So you can kind of manipulate which trigger you want, you know.
So Rip, we misunderstood the assignment.
Yes,
and we decided we were gonna build something just off the walls bonkers.
Huh.
So for your viewing pleasure, let us show us our build.
Okay, let's see it.
This is unobtainable for, I guess, quite a large.
To be fair, if you said plant tribal, and I think I did ask what we were going with, and the consensus was high powered, not CEDH. So we did everything in our power to not make it CEDH. But as you might know, we're just terrible people in general.
Yeah.
We are
terrible
a
people
bunch of
that we are. Terrible people
magic
that we are.
degenerates.
And I like to digress back to what you said about playing in together in the right power levels. I want to play your deck. And a Rule 0, this is the proper time for a Rule 0 discussion.
Oh yeah.
This wasn't that time. So we're looking at to crack shit out. Right, we want to play additional
the
lands.
Rule 0 conversation to build the deck.
Yeah.
We did have that.
I
Whoops.
thought I established the Rule 0 pretty well, but don't worry, my plant tribal or my plant kindred is going to be coming after you.
Commander, cash out.
Dang.
I attack you with my caustic caterpillar.
Oh, is that an Azusa? You have 3 lands already? Oh,
That's
cool.
it? That's it. I want to show you more.
I'm gonna cast my guy
Hold
that
on.
gives me a life.
Check this out, Benevolent Hydra, right?
Oh my gosh.
So it adds counters on another permanent, right? But you can put him where you still cast him for 2 and he'll double counters. So he'll double your landfall trigger. Of course, Crater Hoof, that's a win con.
It's not even the best art.
You like the
bro.
You like the
I
squiggly
know.
line?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A terrible
Now
person,
you're
I
trying
know.
to push
Moved
past
on. You
my
hate
will.
kids. I've moved on.
This is Midnight Noble, uncannon, all right? Defiler.
You and I are real life friends.
Damn, dude. I don't include this card because it's way too good.
Defiler Vigor, 3 colorless and 2 green. So you get to spend 2 life and adds green mana for green permanent spells. But here's the other thing he has. I mean, that's okay. It's a ramp deck. We're not too concerned with it. It might slip a couple cards out.
Yeah,
but
that's not why we have him in here.
whenever you cast a green permanent spell, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Then if you can couple it with things like, of course, this Benevolent Hydra that would put 1 counter on it. Now you're doing things like every time you cast a spell, all your creatures get +2 or 2 +1 counters. God forbid you have another doubler. Witness, staple, right?
We needed that graveyard recursion.
Give me it back, please.
Yes, like to return from whence it came. And it's kind of plant looking for what it's worth. Gyre Sage.
Wow.
This is one we like too.
Why?
Really hot because
As she gets bigger with the 1/1 counters, you get more mana.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
I guess.
so your landfall, like immediately you play that. I guess that's good. It's probably pretty okay.
Sorry, we're currently talking to budget RipPullRepeat.
What's the price on that bad boy?
$2.95. No, it's
Okay, that's a good card. That's a good card.
Kami of Whispered Hope. If one or more +1/+1 counters we put on permanent you control, that many +1.
Man, this is like 3 drop
But this is like that one that you.
3 deck, man.
This is like the one that you had that added the toughness that we overlooked. Really good in the same aspect.
It also taps like Gyre Sage. It adds equal to its power.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Incubation Druid, because it's like immediately play that, play a land. Yeah, and then it's already turned on for 3.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you the 5 to turn it on. It just costs you a land drop.
Yeah, especially a Bristly Bill to get 3 from a green. So it's like each of these are starting to put in more.
Cut $20. Get out of here.
Which one? This one?
Go dominant. Yeah.
This one's actually a really good card.
Why is the foil
it gives them
cheaper
trample
than the regular
right?
one?
So it gives all your
the foiling effect.
Because it looks like a Pringle.
Yeah.
That's probably
true. You're
true.
probably right. That's probably what. Yeah, the Pringle sets.
If you don't triple sleeve that card, it's ruined.
It's ruined before you even open the pack.
My Dahada is still Pringled and it is triple sleeved because I was trying.
I had a foil one of the new Atraxes.
That's a crime.
And it was foiled right out of the pack. I had to put it in a book for like 6 weeks, and it still doesn't want to hold perfect.
Yeah, I made a video of like a pack that I got. That was the whole thing was just like a U shaped.
You're like, come on.
I ended up putting it in my Thanksgiving turkey.
Did you eat it?
That was my Thanksgiving video. It's pretty funny.
That is funny.
That's funny. This thing gives us the ability to ramp anytime a modified creature you control deals combat damage. So that's like
it's really good.
Really good. Llanowar Elves.
Staple.
Omnath. Don't
Worse
lose any
than
mana.
Omnath.
Don't lose any mana anytime.
That's the worst of the 4.
Well, here it's pretty good. Oh, other than the new hat one, what's his name?
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
The April. The April.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, whew.
Oh, it was ungodly, dude. It was
magic if he was real. I was hoping he was, but at the same time,
we talking about he's 6 different types of mana, bro. He's not that easy to get.
Okay, yeah. Oracle. That's a good card.
Oracle of Moldiah. Yeah, it plays extra cards, right?
Yep.
So that's why
drops.
We need those land drops coupled with things like this. Yeah, that let us play cards from our graveyard, Crucible and Conduit as well.
You guys playing like Wasteland and Strip Mine too?
Strip Mine,
not Wasteland.
Okay.
So right, but then just think about the potential with a fetch. Let's say play it twice from 2. It's 4 land drop triggers, 4 landfall triggers.
Yeah.
Renata weren't sold on it, but it does make our creatures enter with a +1/+1 counter. So they already start with a counter.
Yeah, it's free.
The scoot line.
Scoot line.
Yeah. Okay.
The scoots that come in are just going to be 3/3s or 4/4s or potentially 8/8s.
It goes crazy. It does go ham. We like Rishkar here.
Good card.
Turns them all into mana dorks.
Absolutely.
Scavenging Ooze. Love it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that graveyard hate that we need. Plus, it's
in
always
your budget too. At 17 cents, we're good.
Oh, I have so many of them.
It's a mana dump. Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
This card makes every deck before it gets cut.
It's so budget now.
Scoot Swarm. Say less. How's this fit in your budget scale?
I just don't like the card.
It's too good.
Yeah. I don't know. I just never liked Scoot Swarm. I remember it got played back in Standard when I played, and it did okay, but it didn't have trample, and it never get over the line. But I know in Commander you can do some crazy stuff with it.
You don't need trample if you have 850,000.
Yeah, I've seen.
Selvala, which is an
awesome card. I mean,
it's a combo piece.
It does work.
So we'll get to that, but yeah, this thing actually turns combos right on. And infinite mana and mono greens, not.
Well, it's awesome with Bill.
Yeah, we'll bill him.
Oh.
What are you gonna do? I'm gonna double it. Then I'm gonna do it again.
Double it again.
We're gonna be here a while.
Tireless Provisioner. Yep.
That's just a really good card.
Yeah, play a land, get a treasure, ramp, gas, get it.
Crazy card.
Vigor,
classic.
yeah, it's like
Pseudo
you just can't lose with that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I really want somebody to blasphemous act.
What do we call that? The reverse? Did we call it reverse something? We had a nickname for it, didn't we?
We did.
No.
It was,
Can't remember.
We
don't
do our
remember.
best stuff.
I can't remember either.
But we were joking about it for like 15 minutes the other day, and now I don't remember what the heck we called it.
Yeah.
It was funny.
It was something. I don't remember. Moving on.
Yep.
Ballista, you need a mana dump. Even
Yep.
if you don't, even if you just find yourself with like 14 mana, so what? There you go.
Good card.
Play it and do some damage with it. Just go ham. All right. You probably don't like seeing that one, do you? No, all right, we'll skip past it.
Oh my
We
god.
know what Vortex does. How about this little sleeper?
Your
What do we
door
got?
is awesome. I love
Amazing.
I almost actually put that in the plant deck just because of how good it is.
Yeah, I mean, your creature dies, and now you get a landfall trigger.
Yep, it's
And
really
land.
good. It's a cool card too. I just like it. A lot going on. A lot going on
Yeah.
in that art.
A lot going on. Well said. We're hot on this card.
That's a good card.
I like the.
Let me see these sorceries. What sorceries did you guys decide? Oh,
Naturals.
of course. There we go.
Awesome.
Wake in the Woods.
How about this?
Yeah, Bala. That's a good card.
Well, the land count. It's a land count.
Yep, I like it. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Got
That's
it.
how we go get our scoot swarm.
A little too rich.
$26. Jeez, Louise.
It's a good
Did you
card.
even look at what Vornclack said?
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to look.
At least we'll just keep moving on that one. All right, Nature's Lore.
I like it. Any land or
Any
is it forest land? Yep.
It's a
Put
forest
and then
land,
goes on the
untapped.
battlefield. Yep, on tap.
Untapped.
Yep.
Keyword.
Very good.
So that's good in instances where landfall triggers matter. Rapid growth.
Beautiful.
Of
Worst
course.
art, but okay.
You don't know you hate this one.
3 visits, yeah.
Too good.
Why does it have to be the Portals 3? You like? Why can't you just like play
I
the
feel
regular
like we
visit?
purposely went through to try and pick out some of the arts that we thought would be triggering, and it worked.
We were like, which is he gonna hate the most?
Yeah.
I hate that people can't play the card.
We gotta up that salt score.
Yeah.
So add salt, proliferate salt counter with this card. Triumph for the hordes.
Yeah, that's
Game ender.
I hate that you even put that in the deck.
It's a
You
win
gotta have
con.
one game ender.
Team uncommon. Get out of here with that stuff.
Yeah, that probably seems a little unfair, huh?
I really do feel like that card should have been a rare from that set. That is just a really good finisher in general.
It should have never been.
Yeah.
It should have
Like
been
as an
rare.
uncommon, like that's just seems weird to me because it also I think wrecked the. Because now they'll just never reprint it unless they up rare it.
It might up the rarity, and it's
It'll be on one of those weird sheets, you know.
it's
Yeah.
priced as a rare for sure.
Oh yeah, it's a very
Unlike-
good card. It's a
unlike this-
very good card.
It's a win con, and this guy right here.
Nostalgic, man. That used to
I
be
love
the
Tooth
win
and Nail.
card.
I love Tooth and Nail. That's a good card.
Yep.
What was our line? It was Crater Hoof, and what was the other one?
One of those creature makers.
Like Vigor or something.
Oh yeah, Crater Hoof and
Yeah.
Vigor.
Swing.
Or have a crap ton of mana and you can just tooth and nail twice in a turn. That was mostly what we talked about.
Oh yeah,
You will have
Oh!
enough mana in this deck to tooth and nail twice in one turn.
with Conduit, right?
Conduit.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Eternal Witness.
The Witness, the
Not to
Regrowth, which we're
Survival,
getting there. We're getting there. Turn Timber. This is another good land that's got a pretty sweet utility front side.
Yep.
The model face land. We like this card. And for some reason, it comes on with counters too.
Yep.
So it's like you get a free creature and then just jab a bunch of counters on them. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Autumn's Veil, typical removal. Constant Miss is really good.
Yeah, very good card. That flat is that buyback sack of land.
Yep. So
Very
in a
good.
landfall deck, hell of abusable.
Super
Crop
cool.
rotation gets those terrible lands that we hate.
Yeah, that yeah. If I played the lands that you guys played, I would not have cut crop rotation.
It's Force of Vigor. That's
Great
another one
card.
we talked about.
Great card. Yeah, I would probably put that in the deck. I would probably put that in mine.
Heroic Intervention.
Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing just with different versions to save on
Pretty
budget.
much, pretty much like protect a creature.
That one's the best one, obviously, but also the other ones, if you don't own it.
Legolas, like that one. I can't believe that one cost that much.
Well, it's only got
only-
printed in that special.
Yeah,
Yeah, the special
It's-
holiday bundle.
Yeah, so it's like such a bummer.
good card is good.
Yep.
K
Frozen grip, that's the best. Split
It's-
second's awesome.
Hotness. Love that return.
Yep,
Love
free.
that return. It's another strong uncommon, huh?
Yeah.
Veil, we
Same,
like
same
that.
with this one. It's Veil too.
Return of you gotta have that protection.
Got to
right?
protect. Yep.
A little tutor for our shoot swarm.
Great card.
We like Cauldron here too because everything gets counters, and we're
All
the Cauldron
creatures are
boys.
Whatever we copy.
and exiling a ballista with your whole field full of plus
Oh
one
man,
counter
you can put a nice shirt on a turd, but come on, you just threw that in there. Like there's no thought in that. It's just it's colorless. It's colorless and it's good. It's colorless and good. Here you go.
No, that's pretty much how the conversation went.
Yeah. What's
I
the
think
best
Mike-
colorless cards?
I think Mike was like, Soul Cauldron, and Greg and I were like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
yeah.
it.
Oh, we got space. Oh yeah, it's colorless. Oh wow.
Moving on.
Is it,
Well,
is it over $40? Yeah, that's a great card.
it's a plus one counter deck. So
This guy. Oh my gosh. What other great colorless cards that fit the theme of Bristly Bill? Oh, Crucible? Oh wow, yeah. Shocker.
look at this bad boy. You
I
might
played
have
the
to-
same one, so I can't
Yeah,
get
yeah.
mad about that one. Give me something else.
Greaves. Gotta have Greaves.
Yep.
Protection.
That's a good one.
Gotta have
I didn't
Sower.
even play Soul Ring. Get out of here. I didn't even play
I just
it.
realized that. I just
didn't even throw Soul Ring in
we
there.
said that. We said that.
Yeah. I was like, I'm doing my own thing. I don't need no Soul Ring.
Oh, fucking Soul Ring. Soul Ring's for chumps.
What do we
I am
got?
a jump.
Ozolith, Satisfy. You already know about that.
That's
one.
a good card.
Adds extra counters. Yep. Staff.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta have a
This is
mana
part of the
outlet.
Infinite combo with Zavala.
Yeah. Zavala and Staff is like GG.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Just draw your
Yeah.
whole library and play everything. So
Yeah. Great
Oh, boy.
henge.
We're just gonna move past that. You're not gonna like that, are you? I actually own that card specifically. It's fantastic.
It's a really good card.
It's a really good card.
It's a
It
good
is.
card.
And anything that
It
gives us draw.
does everything. It is the craziest card that does literally everything.
It kind of does.
reduction, cost reduction, card draw, ramp. Like what?
Life gain.
Yeah, like what is happening?
And if you didn't know, you can win by having more life than your opponent. So it's good. It's a good card. Umbro Mantle, another part of the combo from
Untap, yeah.
yeah,
Love
so
it.
That thing. That's Selvala
I
combo.
love Zoran Orb combos, but we'll get
Oh, we do love Zeren Orb. You gotta
Yeah.
have that just for no
that's
reason.
a
whatsoever.
classic. That's a classic. Ozolith, amazing card.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
I just did a video explaining that it doesn't take the counters. It just creates new ones.
It creates new ones, right?
Oh, that's
So
dope. I did not know that.
Yeah, counters do not get removed from the permanent when they go to the graveyard. They just disappear.
right.
Same
Branch Evolution,
card. Yep.
we know that. Same card.
Did
same
it?
card.
Did it?
Oh, I'm gonna skip that.
I mean,
know what that
I
does.
mean that I was thinking about adding that, but again, it's just the price.
Well, we
point.
had the discussion on this between Primal Vigor, right, and this. And
Yeah.
that.
I-
Well, Vigor
Yeah,
makes for all players get extra counters and tokens,
Yep.
right? So
yeah.
that was the selling point.
What I
for
didn't
Steven.
want my deck to turn into was
this?
just another counter deck. You know, like okay, I'm gonna do a +1/+1 counter deck. Here are the staples that just go into that deck.
Yeah.
I agree, but we did actually. I
I
think
feel
we.
called out now.
I'm just,
No, hold
I'm
on.
just a guy trying to build Plant Kindred. You know, I'm just.
I know. I know. We went way too hard. But the other thing is, I think we did a very great, honestly, great job of balancing out card draw versus.
Well, and I think if
Synergy
people want to
versus
play
one-
a competitive Bristol Bill, they should go with your guys' build because this is what will
High-powered.
actually let you sit at a table and play. Explorations,
Too
great.
good. Yeah, anything that plays an extra turn, land a turn, especially once you turn that on from the graveyard.
Yeah.
It's over.
Greater good,
Draw a card, sacrifice a creature on its way out, draw a
great
card.
card. Yeah,
Discard 3, who cares? You're going to be drawing a lot. Hardened Scales, know how good it is. There's our.
yep.
that's-
Our removal.
Yep. Tribute, we already said why it's so good.
Yep.
Library.
Sylvan, great card.
Great card. And then a bunch of lands. I don't think there's anything in here worth extremely mentioning other than the
I mean, yeah, it's the typical green package, barring a Gaia's Cradle.
Barring a Gaia's
The
Cradle.
escape
I don't.
tunnel should be mentioned since it is strictly. Better.
Actually, it is an actually better Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic.
It's also
Escape tunnel is
common. Just like
It is a
Evolving
common.
Wilds.
Very cool. I
It
haven't
is
seen that
because it
card.
gives you that secondary ability to give something unblockable. But it's at its very floor.
Is that art for that forest real?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's a secret lair.
pixel.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
the pixels
hold
are
on.
awesome.
You can kind of see it here.
Yeah.
What am I looking for?
He's
Just
just
a
showing
pixel.
you up close.
Oh,
Pixelated.
I was like, I don't. If this is an I Spy, I have no idea what you're showing.
No, it was just pixelated.
One of those pixelated pictures where there's like a picture inside of
It
it.
was literally drawn in like bitmap. Yeah,
Ha. It's cool. Looks good.
yeah, it's pretty good. And then pretty much
Bridges, Nyx though, yeah.
A bunch
this
of
one's pretty
fetches as
okay.
well.
It's a cave. Strip mine, so just more fetches. This card's a pretty good card too.
Yeah, it's a good card.
War Room, yeah, we've been liking this card a lot.
It's
Yep.
only one life because we're in mono. So
Yeah.
It's even
Yep.
better.
So that's pretty much our package. I know we were short on time. I would love to play test it, but I think we should play a game sometime.
Oh, of course. Invite me at Spell Table. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm game to play. I'm not playing my plant deck, I'll tell you that.
You guys, any parting final words?
It's been awesome having you here with us. Sorry it ran way longer than originally planned, but
I don't regret
it's
nothing.
been
I regret
absolutely
nothing.
fun, enjoyable. Definitely would like to have you back again at some point
Yeah.
for anything.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. You guys have me on again. Feel free to chat me up if you guys ever want to do any collabs on the TikTok.
I'd like to get a game soon. Let's do something again soon, maybe in a week or two.
Yeah, definitely. We'll play CDH then.
Because we have we cannot fucking tell you. It's
I know
casual.
you ain't got nothing else to play, so I'm just like, fine. I guess I'll take my CDH deck out. God.
He's like, I see you guys say casual, but
Yeah.
we'll just play CDH and avoid the semantics.
I made a joke about playing with like hard top loader sleeves, and I don't know, you guys. You guys are
Alrighty.
getting off top loader sleeve vibes.
Our sweaty is pretty sweaty, bro.
Yeah, like
Sometimes I wear gloves whenever I'm going through my CDH deck.
oh, dude, I got like Cheeto fingers. I'm like licking them and stuff, just touching everything.
Yeah,
Just-
unsleeved cards,
Just touch it up. Get them all touched up.
He just like ruffle shuffles his.
I suck on them. I honestly
Hey, raw
just
dogging.
It's like a big piece of bubble gum. I just shove it right here. I'm like, oh, give me the moxes.
Look at that. All right. This is Noble Truth.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Gruesome Bubbles.
I'm so fucking tired.
Mike Javelle.
I'm calling it a
RipPullRepeat.
night.
Hey, forget about it. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
GG.
W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on it. What?
Noble dies.
Okay, let's get it.